I think while the left often accuses the right of being supremacist in some way, white supremacist or whatever, I started thinking that there might be a sort of supremacist feeling on the left, because there seems to be this idea that our culture, almost like the end of evolution, as if evolution had an end goal, which it doesn't. Like if we just give money and resources to these places and to these ideologies, they'll turn out like us and everything will be fine. Do you think that's maybe misguided of them?
I think that I recently wrote an essay in the New Criterion about the lamentable Hannah Arendt essay, come book, Eichmann in Jerusalem: A Study on the Banality of Evil. And I mentioned in that it seems to me that the capacity to use the term evil seems to have disappeared in our era. And obviously it's something I've thought about and seen a lot in recent years in particular. I believe that there is such a force as evil in the world, and that even if you don't think you need the theological framework or language to use that term, you'll find someday that you will. What I mean by that is that really one of the reasons why we're bad at using the term is that there has been a presumption for some time in the era of secularization, which I just am saying unweighted as a phrase for now, that there has been a period in the period of secularization in which many people have come to the idea that there's no such thing as evil. There's just sort of people we haven't understood enough yet. Or, maybe they had a bad childhood. Lots of people have bad childhoods, and yet they somehow managed to refrain from firing RPGs at their neighbors. The loss of this term, it's everywhere in the culture. Look at any Netflix drama, look at any documentary about a serial killer or something. There's always any book about a serial killer. Everyone wants to know, and it is very interesting, of course, because these are pathological outriders in the grand scheme of things, thank God. But we want to know how they came about. And there is a sort of presumption with, a Fred West or a Jeffrey Dahmer or something, that you will be able to find it. And it's fascinating, and it's a very deep human desire. And yet, as I quote Gita Sereni, in a way, anyone who's covered war or conflict and atrocities and much more, in the end, you sort of can't help but think that there is a force that is evil in the world. And maybe it's born in people, maybe it's developed in people, maybe it comes down on occasion. Most likely it's in the heart of everyone. And that's what disturbs us about it. But, yeah, we the reluctance to use this term on the left in particular means that there are these sets of presumptions, such as if the living standards only improve. And yet there are billions of people in the world who have terrible living standards, and they do not decapitate their neighbors. There are billions of people in the world who live in misery, but they do not seek to create misery in others. I think it's such an insult to so many people. It's an insult, apart from anything else, to the Palestinian people that these people pretend to care about and are merely using as a proxy for their own bigotries most of the time, in my view. It's a sign of theirs that they really think that the Palestinians can't help it.